Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to City Skylines, Green Cities. I certainly hope you're having a wonderful day, because I'm certainly excited to be back in the beautiful city of Greendale, where things are actually going pretty darn well. We are currently sitting on next to no demand for anything, currently sitting just above $9.1 million, with a population just above 126,000 people. And what you're looking at here is something that I'm sure a lot of you are just terrified by, because you're worried that I've made something horrendous, and you're probably looking at the tail of traffic going way back into the distance there and going, oh good lord, it is something horrendous. Well, you might be right. You might be right. It might be horrendous. I don't really know for sure. I'm still testing this particular thing, but in case it's not obvious, it used to be a roundabout. It's not anymore though, because what I've done is I've got these 8-lane roads here, here, and here, and those are set up in very specific ways. So if we consider this lane here to be lane 1, this lane 2, 3, and 4, we can say that lane 1 is a lane that only goes to the right. So it goes straight across here and can only turn right. And that's the same everywhere. So this is still lane 1, this is lane 2. If we look at lane 2 can only ever go straight on, as you're seeing just there. Then lane 3 and 4 go to the left and can only go to the left. So that's what's happening with that particular setup. That's what's going on with all of those roads. But that's not the only thing going on with this junction, because we've also got some timed traffic lights in here, and they're set up so at the moment what you're seeing, or what you just saw, is green lights for traffic going right here and right over here. Or there, I should say. What you're about to see is green lights over here for traffic going the right, going to the right from there, and to the right from there as well. And then you're going to see a green light in just a moment for traffic going straight on from this side and that side. And then the next step is a green light for traffic going straight on from this side and that side. Which means traffic is never, ever crossing over each other, so it should never really be blocking each other. The only thing stopping traffic in this intersection is the traffic lights. So that's the first thing that I've done between episodes. You might also be able to spot the buses. There are buses, and apparently that bus is actually full. I kind of want to increase the size of the buses. Let me just do a thing here, because 30 people on a coach is kind of silly. So I'm going to just knock that up to 50, because 50 just makes more sense. A coach isn't just going to have 30 people on it. That's not actually all that big, and those are big buses. So we have got buses, and we have expanded the suburbs over here quite considerably, and they are still growing. There is still a lot of growth to be done with the suburbs, as you can see, but I decided to do all of this off camera because honestly, you've seen me build these suburbs, this style of suburb, quite a few times. There wasn't going to be anything remotely exciting in, you know, that particular process. Same with the buses, honestly. The bus line is very simple, so showing you that didn't really make sense. We can show you it just real quick here. It begins at this metro station, because that kind of made sense to me. You can get on a metro out to this area, get in a bus, and then go to the suburbs. And then it just comes in. It has a couple of stops there, couple of stops there, couple of stops there, and in this little commercial area. I also don't know which mod is letting me see the demand here for all of this, but I really appreciate it. I'm really enjoying that. I'm also thinking that I'd just like to bring a bus from here. So let me just grab this real quick, because what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this in this way, and we're going to have a stop there, so that all of these people can actually get on a bus. I think that's going to be a good idea. That's going to be a lot of people crossing over there, and it does add a bit of an asymmetrical thing there to the bus line, but I'm hoping that that'll do some good for us. Actually, you know what? Let's just put a stop there. Let's just put the stop in there, because that kind of makes more sense to me. We'll put it right on the corner so the people in this neighborhood can maybe go get on a bus, because they have got demand to get some public transport in there. So hopefully that'll do some good for us. And hopefully that will work out. So that's the bus line. It goes back and forth like you just saw. That's this intersection. And there's one other change that I've made, which is I built this area. And I did record me building this area. In fact, I've been trying to, not to sound like a YouTuber who's trying to sell a sob story here, but I've been trying to record this episode for the last like 2 hours. It's already a day late, and I can't seem to get it right. So I stepped away for a second after building this, because I built this and recorded it, and like I said, and it just wasn't right. So I stepped away, refreshed myself, and we're back at it. We're going to get things done. So this area here was just to fill up that particular space. And I realized there is actually one other change that I made, and that is a bit of terraforming over here, just to put some hills around the little national road and sort of bring the hills down around the suburb a little bit, leading towards Greendale City Airport. Now, we are apparently having some crime problems over here. I'd kind of like that to be fixed. I assume if a police car comes by, that'll get sorted. But I did also see some complaints about garbage. Now, that's something we're actually going to have to figure out for all of this space, because technically speaking, there aren't any, recycling centers near this particular area. There are some here, but they've got a lot of traffic to go through to, actually be of any use. So we're going to need to figure that out. And what I'm thinking we do is just over here, I want to maybe build a little section of road. So just a little standard section of road there. That's a little bit bigger than I wanted it to be. So let me just get that national road back in there. So we'll do this, and we can come in with a recycling center. I'm thinking just there. And I think that should be fine. I would love to be able to do that, but unfortunately, this technically isn't on a road if it's on a national road. So we do need to do this properly. So we'll do that kind of thing. I'm just going to move this to be a little bit more central. I'd like to just rotate it slightly and bring it a little closer to the road there. So something like that should do the job. We are going to need to just increase the speed limit on that road, though, because obviously having everything slow down to 40 there doesn't make too much sense. But we'll put that there. And what I think I'll do, since it's a recycling center, is I'm just going to put a wind turbine behind it. Because I think that's, I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. In fact, we could absolutely just throw the wind turbine into like one of the corners of the thing, but I think I'm going to put a wind turbine just there, just sort of on one of the corners. I don't quite know which one. I'm thinking maybe that one, like right in the thing. It's a little bit weird looking, but it'll keep it powered. Obviously, I think they need water. I don't know if this thing does actually need water or not. Maybe not. It seems to be functioning perfectly there. So that's definitely not a bad thing. Now, something I could totally do here to be cruel to this thing is change this road into one of the little roads of the median, because that would actually force the trucks to have to go out onto the highway here to get back into this recycling center. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think that would be a little bit much. But I kind of like this. I think this looks kind of nice. Just having that little recycling center out there. We could totally throw a few bushes around it if we really wanted to, which I think I really want to. Just do a little bit of decorating there, and a couple of trees just to fill up the area a little bit. I did see a few comments from people that were pointing out that I am not using all that many different types of trees. I know I'm not really using all that many. I'm sort of just sticking with the same set of trees for the most part. So the palm trees, these sort of fern-looking things. I'm just sticking with that set because that's kind of what's been on the map the entire time. So it seems like that would make sense to me. That's basically what I'm getting at. It seems like that would make sense. So that's what we're doing. We're going to stick with the trees that we know. Oh, I also changed this and put a fountain in the middle of it. I don't know why. I don't really think you'd have a fountain in a roundabout out here, but it looks better than the giant tree that was there before, so we'll stick with it and we'll see what happens. Now, the next thing I think we need to do is go ahead and review our services, because I'm pretty confident in saying that this area might be lacking a little bit. Now, it seems that medical coverage, sorry, that's death care. Medical coverage is not terrible. It seems that their health out here is decent enough. But I think I am going to throw a little medical clinic just into that spot there, just to provide, you know, coverage to everyone in the middle of that area. In terms of fire coverage, it is lacking, so I think a fire station there will definitely improve on all of that. Then policing, we already have a station in there, so we are totally fine. Education-wise, these guys are going to be lacking on that front as well. So what I'm going to do is, since we have a bus stop right there, I'm actually going to just double up on elementary schools. So back-to-back elementary schools right there, so you can get right to them via the bus, and I think that'll be a pretty good thing. So that'll give us pretty good capacity there. Actually, you know what? Let's not double up on those. Let's move one down to there instead, so that the coverage is a bit more spread out. I think that'll be better for the entire neighborhood. As for high schools, high school availability is not amazing, but we actually have an opportunity, by the looks of it, to put a high school right at the end of that road there. And I think that looks pretty good, actually. Yeah, that gives pretty good coverage to that entire space. And then, obviously, university coverage is decent enough. Actually, universities, we have filled the universities. I did not expect to do that. I never expected to fill both of the modern technology institutes. That's actually surprised me a lot. That's remarkable. I really didn't think we'd do that at any point. I really genuinely didn't. So we're gonna probably need to look into getting a new university, and that's honestly something we could build a district around, because we kind of did that with the original ones, didn't we? We kind of have this thing here. So I wonder if we maybe, you know, come out here and build some kind of university, or maybe down this way we build at the far end of the city or something like that. I do like the idea of getting ourselves a new university district almost. I think that could be kind of fun. But the question is, where are we going to put it? This to me looks like the best candidate. I'm going to be honest. This does look to me like it's going to be the best candidate. So let's, I guess, just see what happens. Let's just bring that out a bit. Let's bring a road off of there as well, and see where it leads to. So this, if we connect those together, that's quite a big district. But I kind of like the idea of doing it. So let me bring this to about that point, and let's bring this across to about there. And we are going to need to get a curve here, I think. I think a curve here is going to be for the best. It's going to save on a bit of sort of awkward zoning. So if we just turn the guidelines back on, we can actually just bring that in. And I think that looks a bit better. Let's also just do this, and we'll curve that corner as well. Obviously, like pretty much every other district, we're probably going to get rid of those curves at some point, because we always do. In fact, this one right here is going to go away immediately, because I've just noticed a thing I can do, which is continue that straight across, bring this straight out, and actually connect it to this roundabout over here. I need to stop pausing the game when I do this. I really need to stop pausing the game every time I'm doing something. Now, this road right here is actually going to be pretty darn big. It's going to be one of the bigger roads in the city, I think. So we're maybe going to want to upgrade that into something that can handle a little bit more traffic than perhaps it currently could. So we'll do that kind of thing. Those curves aren't, you know, even, but they'll do the job. Do we want to upgrade this into something that will handle more traffic? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm kind of feeling like the correct answer is yes, but I'm curious to see what happens if we don't. So we're going to find out what happens if we don't upgrade it. But what I would like to do is I would like to make sure that this corner here is actually even. So we're going to bring this up to that point. We're going to bring this to that point. And this is going to be a much smaller curve compared to this one over here. I wonder if I could make that a bit smaller though. You know, can I make this look, you know, nice and compact? Something like that perhaps is going to be about as close to... Yeah, I think that works. It's a bit more compact. It'll do the job. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in like this. We're going to turn off guidelines real quick, and I'm going to use this road. And we're going to go, I think, 20 units. No, let's say 30 units that way. We are going to go 30 units that way, and we're going to just make a big old square. And then what I want to do is connect the big old square to the avenue. I don't think I can do a diagonal there. I could do... I can't even do that. So we're going to connect it just like this. Just to either corner like that. We'll have it connected. That's our big old square. And that's where I'm thinking we're going to do the university. I kind of like the idea of having this road go through here as well. So something kind of like that. Going straight through. I didn't actually need to do it as awkwardly as I did because I could have just went like that. So that's gonna go straight through. Can I get this to do the same thing is the question. So if I did that. So that right there is our middle point. I don't think I can get this to work as neatly as I'd like. So I think what we'll do is we're just going to figure out where the universities are going to go. Are we going to use the Modern Technology Institute again as well? That's another question. I feel like we are. But I feel like I want to space them a little differently. So if we turn on Anarchy real quick, we can put them like this. They're not technically clipping each other like the hitboxes are, but it's just those trees at the corners that are kind of the problem. We'll leave the simulation running while we do this. I really, really need to stop pausing it every 2 seconds. We can build a high school there and there. We can technically have those clip. They do look a little outdated, though. So let's maybe look at the slightly fancier high school, which has... I was going to say it had some trees in it, but I don't think it does. So if I put that there... That looks kind of interesting. Can I move that into... Oh, that's got some grass on it, though. All right. Let's see. Can I maybe do... Let's see. If I was to pause for a second and do this sort of thing, can I put the high school on that? I can, but it's still clipping, technically. I can put an elementary school there. So I think we'll do that. And then I think we'll just take that away. And we can do a nice curve just like that. Obviously not necessary. At all. Actually, no, let's get rid of that. I kind of like the angle. The angle is, it's kind of nice. And we can maybe do that and do that. So that gives us just a little bit of like a complex thing going on there. We have the two big university buildings. Quite happy with those. Can I bring this maybe straight through here to about that point? Then bring you straight back like that, and you straight back like that. The real question is, can I get these to connect together real nicely? I think I totally can. So that's nice. People can walk through that area. They can go to the elementary school. They can go to the universities. I would like to get just a few more paths going around, though. So something like that should do the job. We could actually throw a couple of high schools back here, perhaps. So one just... Oh, they are a little bit bigger than I wanted them to be. They are a little bit bigger than I wanted them to be. But that almost works. Oh, that almost works. It's not as nice as I wanted it to be. What if I shuffle you along one and then shuffle you along one as well? They clip kind of awkwardly, but I don't think you'll notice that from far away. So why am I going for aesthetics? What's possessed me to go purely for aesthetics today? We'll do that so people can walk through there. And I think that'll be fine. So that's going to be a new education square. Yeah, that's what that's going to be. A new education square. Let's go ahead and just bring a bit of a district brush around there as well, so I can go ahead and make sure that there's going to be an old sign policy on this. Definitely going to be needing the old sign policy on Victoria Square here. So let's select you. Let's say old sign policy. Let's maybe also do oh, there's already a Parks and Rec boost. There we go. All right, so that is actually kind of cool looking. I'm quite pleased with that. It's a very, very simple little build, but it is going to be the new sort of core for education in this particular area. So bring that down there as well, just to get a nice, that's not quite a straight line. That's actually really bugging me. Let's see if we can just get a nice straight line down here. So something like that. This one as well isn't actually straight either, but it'll do. So that will be the new core for education in the southern part of the city, which kind of has me thinking about what this area is going to be. So I think what we need to do is we need to turn on guidelines. We need to go for the basic road with a median. I don't know why. We're just going to do it. And it's going to go like that. And it's going to go like that. And then we can curve around here. And we can get plenty of zoning along the highway, which is hopefully going to look absolutely beautiful. And then I think at that point, I think we're basically going to we're going to take a leaf out of the suburbs, I think. Just based on what I'm doing here. Yeah, I think we're going to just take a leaf out of the suburbs here. Although that's going to make things slightly tricky with this square here. We might have to do that differently. What if we go there? I think that'll be better. Let's also turn off guidelines for a second, so I can hopefully make this work properly. You are going to go to about there. And I think we can maybe get a nice curve. Yeah. Yeah, that works. So we're definitely at this point taking a leaf out of the suburbs book. Leaf out of the suburbs book. That I didn't finish the saying there. I don't know what that was about. I think we'll go with a straight angle there. I think that'll be okay. And we can maybe go for that, just to get a connection into in off of that avenue. Over here, we're gonna just start doing exactly the same thing. So out to about there, straight down to say there. And again, hopefully we can get this to work nicely. I think we will go for the straight angle there. And we'll bring this across. Hopefully. Oh, it does line up actually really, really nicely there. So there we go. All right, so that all connects around. It doesn't have the most connections in the world to the surrounding avenues, but I think we'll be okay. We could bring this up like that, and we could bring this up like that as well. And actually, I wonder, can I just bring that straight through? I totally can. Okay. Well, I think that kind of works. We could maybe get rid of those connections and run a road like that instead. Yeah, I think that works. That junction's probably going to be a bit of a nightmare to navigate, but that does give us two very distinct squares to work with here, so let's get going, I suppose. I think this one here, we're probably gonna... I was gonna say we're gonna focus on offices and commercial down here because that's what the demand is for, but the thing is, I don't know how far people are necessarily going to go to get to these schools. Although I guess I could just expand this metro line down this way, which honestly, we're absolutely going to do. So let's get a new metro station just... I think there'll be perfect. For one at least. I think there as well will be a good spot. I think there could be a good spot. This is going to have to loop around in a pretty weird way. But we're going to do it. I think we'll go to there as well. And we'll go to there. These are... I was going to say I'm just going to do them my normal way, but I'm actually sort of feeling... I'm feeling like curving these today. I don't know what's wrong with me, but something like that just looks kind of decent. So let's just bring this out to that point. And just go with a bit of a curve like that. Over here, this is just going to snap straight up like that. Because it really might as well. So we'll do that kind of thing. This is going to go straight into that one. And then technically this needs to come out like that. And we will freeform this sort of around a bit. So something like that. Then bring it over. Bring it around. And... like that. That's hideous. That is hideous. Good lord. I'm not at all proud of that. Not at all proud of that. But it's gonna stay because at this point it has to. So we'll bring this stop into there. We'll close that up and we'll just start putting the new stops in the new stations. And I do sincerely hope that these get some good use. I have a feeling that the stop there for the universities and the education box, I guess, I have a feeling that those will do pretty good. I am feeling, though, that I'd like to put a pedestrian crossing just right in the middle there. I think that'll make sense. But I think that'll do some good for us. So... let's get back to what we were doing. Let's get these roads in here. And we are going to go for just the normal roads, I think. We'll turn off guidelines as well. And I think we'll do a road that goes... Let's see. I'm thinking we'll start here. Unfortunately, it's not going to let me go straight up, but that's fine. We can do that sort of thing. To begin with, we can bring a road through there as well to fill up that little space. We can bring this road down to there, maybe straight across. Maybe straight across, maybe down a little bit like that and straight across, just to give a bit more room between those two junctions. That can come down and be a dead end. This can also be a dead end. And we can even just come down like this. In fact, maybe that could be a little park. That could be a little park or something, although we have room for another one over here, which is maybe a bit much. Let's see. What kind of parks do we have? We have this one. Does it fit? It just fits. It technically doesn't, but it sort of technically does. So we'll just do that, I think. And then we'll connect out from the sides. And I think I can put some trees in there and make that look kind of nice. It's a little janky, but I think I can make that look kind of nice. As for down here, I guess we will just go for this kind of thing. Bring that out a little bit. Obviously, the zoning is going to be weird there, so maybe just... Oh, my voice, man. My voice is just not good today. We'll do that kind of thing, and I think that looks all right. I think that works. Maybe that can come off of there instead. And go down to there. Yeah, I think that works. And I think what we can maybe do is not have people park on the roads that sort of go somewhere. So if it connects to a main road there, you probably don't want to park on it. Then over here is actually going to be a bit easier because it's all on these kind of right angles here. So this can actually just go straight up, which is nice. I don't necessarily think I want it to, but it can. That can go to there. That can be demolished. That can come across. So that works fine. This is actually going to be a very similar layout to the roads that we just did. But that's not so bad. This can go to there, and I think we can maybe throw another little park into that space just there, possibly. I didn't think we were going to get as lucky this time. I could put it there, though. It's a very similar... It looks... Because it's literally the same park, it just looks kind of bad having it like this. But I think we'll just do that anyway, just to boost the leisure in the area. I'm also thinking we could maybe throw in something like a hospital to one of these spaces. So I think we could maybe throw a hospital into this area over here. So I think we'll do that. We'll put the hospital on this road here. So that road's sort of dedicated to ambulances pretty much. We'll have a pedestrian path there so people can walk back and forth to the hospital. And for fire coverage, I think we'll go for a full-sized fire station. And I think we'll do a full-size fire station there with a full-size police station just opposite. And I think that'll give us good coverage. I don't really think we're going to have too much to worry about in terms of emergencies in this particular neighborhood. So we'll do this sort of thing and just nicely box these in. Something like that. Yeah, I think that looks all right. And at this point, we can just do the zoning. So what exactly are we gonna do? Well, I think we'll go for some offices surrounding the schools. I think that makes sense. I don't think I want to zone this area in front of them at all. So we're not gonna. We're just gonna do some paths in there so that we can block off the zoning completely. So just block all of that off. And then let's see if I can get a nice curve going there. I absolutely can. Gonna need to tweak it slightly, I think. Maybe move these into the road a little bit. Bring the curve down a little bit more like that. And let's see if I can just make this look that little bit nicer. So something like that. We can connect you to there. And connect you two together as well. Then if we just move these corners into place, we should be able to make something that I think looks kind of decent. Get a curve there. This bit here is going to need to be brought in a little bit. Just like that. We'll curve you to there. And I think that looks all right. We can turn that into a little park. And if I also go to Victoria Square here and say that we want to have the... Where is it? We want to go to district. We want to go to here. We want to have this be an IT cluster. That's going to sort of match the look of the other school area. So that's kind of a big deal. It's going to be a bit weird. It is going to be weird having these giant buildings, you know, this far out of the city center, but we'll do it anyway. We'll do some commercial in those two spots as well. And then I think I might just line the rest of this with residential. The problem is, actually, you know what we'll do? We'll line the outsides with offices, and then the insides can be a mix of commercial and residential. The reason I don't want to do just residential, especially right now, is because we just don't have the demand for it. We have got demand for commercial. We have got demand for offices/industry, but the demand for commercial is just not there. Sorry, residential is just not there. It would, I will admit, it would be really nice to be able to turn off the zoning on some of these roads. That would be delightful. But I think we'll just leave that as is. We'll see how the buildings develop there. And I think as long as that has water, which it doesn't, how do I always assume? How do I get to the point that I assume I've put pipes in, when I haven't put the pipes in. I don't understand it. The good news, though, is that I can make these pipes look all pretty like by getting them all neat and under the roads. And that reminds me as well. I've seen a few comments from people saying that there are mods to sort of change the behavior of the pipes or something like that. I don't think it was change the behavior of the pipes as much as it was get rid of the need for them, I think, is pretty much what most of the mods did. And I think the suggestion was basically get rid of the pipes and just imagine that they are under the roads by default. I could do that. I'm not gonna do that, though. Anyway, let's go ahead and let this area just develop a little bit. We're hopefully gonna see some good stuff come from this. I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. I want to see if this area works out. And as this area builds as well, we should see demand for residential come up a little bit, which means that these areas over here, which are currently not building, will hopefully build. All right, so while I'm waiting for the new area to build a little bit, I want to turn my attention to the airport because there's a few things I want to do with this just to make it look a little bit better. Now, a few people have been keen to point out that I haven't yet built the international airport. I am going to get around to doing that eventually. I don't know when, just I'll do it eventually. I'm sort of taking my time with it because I just don't feel the need to build it right now, basically. It's going to be a thing that happens eventually. I hate to keep saying eventually, but that's kind of the way it is. So yeah, just, don't stress about it. It'll happen when it happens. But what I want to do today is I want to come in with a bit of a fence here. It's going to come along to like there. And I want to just sort of curve it down this way a little bit. And just very gradually have this come down and around towards the highway. It's not a perfect fence. It is a little bit messy there. But that's fine. We're not going to stress too much about that. We'll bring it down this way. And we'll go to just there with it. And what that's going to do is that's obviously going to block off this entire part of the airport, which is great. That's kind of a thing we want to do. But I also want to just have some pedestrian paths that go around this. And the paths aren't so much for people to use as much as they're there to help me kind of, know where the fences are going to go. So this is going to come out to there, and this is going to come out to there. And then what I want to do is go to about there. So like 20 units from the end of that runway. And it's going to come in like that, which is fine. I think we're going to go 20 on this side as well. So to there and there. Just like that. And this is going to come in like this. And I'm just going to take it over the train track. Actually, it doesn't need to go over the train tracks. It can come along like this, along the side of the train tracks. To there and honestly beyond. Actually, at this point, we can turn it into concrete. And have it go like that. So it basically connects to the bit of path I have here. That is, that's making the train tracks look kind of nice there. So just do something like that. We'll have it curve in a little bit. So yeah, that's basically where I'm going to put my fence that goes around the airport. I'm just going to have it sort of follow that pedestrian path because I think that's probably going to be for the best. It would be nice to maybe curve it there. Maybe have it go to there instead. I think we'll just do that kind of thing. I think that'll work. So let's... Oh, you know what we could even do? Let's just tear out little bits here. So we'll go like... Let's see here. If I was to go... I don't know, 20 that way. and 20 that way, and just sort of... I'm trying to find a nice way to cut off a little bit of this. So I can do some kind of curve, but I don't think it's gonna work nicely with me. So maybe we just do this kind of curve there. And then maybe a very slight curve here. You know, just to make it look a little nicer. Get a little curve there. And a little curve done here as well. Just to, again, make it look a little bit nicer. So, there we go. That looks decent to me. Now all we need to do is come in with that fence again. So, we will go to here. We can... Oh, this one, actually. And we can bring the fence from... Oh, that is not working nicely. Can I get this to work properly? Options. Let's go for anarchy on. And it would be really nice to have the fence sort of work the way I want it to work. Because it's kind of not. Which is a little frustrating. So if I start there and just go straight to about the start of the curve, which I think is about there. I can use the curve tool to make this fence curve around here a bit easier, but I honestly think doing it one by one is actually going to be easier, just a little more time consuming. And there we go. And honestly, I'm kind of really happy with this. It's a really, really simple thing, but it just makes the airport look that bit better, especially with the trees actually just on the outside of the fence. I'm really, really pleased with that. It is kind of tempting to change it to be concrete. I'll be honest. It's even more tempting to change it into something like a little road like this, because that would probably look even better going around the edge of the airport. But this is fine. This totally works. And it just makes the airport, I think, look a little bit better. It's very busy down here. I remember when this area was so simple. It's gotten very, very busy in this area recently. I also realized I still haven't connected the train station, but, well, at this point, that's maybe never going to happen. What I will do, though, is I'll come over here, and I'm going to throw in a bit more commercial zoning into that space and that space, just so we can get rid of some of this demand done here. And I think the rest of this, I am just going to do residential. I think at this point, we're just going to do a bunch of residential zoning. We're going to fill it all up. We're going to get people living down here. And we're going to get people moving about, you know, the south end of the city, which is something that we haven't necessarily focused on in a little while. It's been a few episodes since we actually, you know, had a look at traffic moving down here. And thus far, it actually seems to be moving. So we've got that going for us. I'm just curious to see if it'll keep moving or if at some point it's going to stop moving. As for over here, it's still backing up, but the thing with this, I will say, the thing with this is that this does actually move. Even though traffic is tailing back quite a bit, it does eventually go. You know, it's all those timers will eventually let you go. You'll just be waiting a little bit. But I don't think that bothers me too much. I don't think I'm too concerned about that. This place is on fire. Do we actually have... Yeah, we do have a fire truck on the way. That's good. We should probably see a helicopter coming over there as well, because I think I saw a tree on fire. That would have been another thing I could have put out here. You know, some helicopters or something like that, but I think this is fine. I think this works. So, with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm actually gonna leave it there for today. I'm really happy with how this is looking. I think Victoria Square is a pretty cool area. We have hopefully got people. Yeah, there's people using the metro line, which is excellent news. We have people using buses, which is something we didn't have previously, for a multitude of reasons, to be honest. Mostly because when I do bus lines, I'm very bad at them. but I'm really pleased with this. I'm actually especially pleased with how the airport's looking. There's just something about that just looks a lot more clean, and that makes me really, really happy. So with that in mind, I suppose we are going to leave it there for today. Thank you kindly for watching. It has been my pleasure, as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!